Okay, I'm going to try to show you guys what I'm doing. First of all, I have a project that's a bunch of sunflowers. It's so cool. And I've taken my scissors, my foiling shears, which have two edges on one side and one on the other, so that when I cut the lines of my pattern, I'm basically cutting out the line. I remove the line from the pattern. So right now I've got a bunch of edge pieces for this sunflower pattern, and then I cement glued them to the glass that I want them to be on. In this case, this is a really pretty piece of glass that's kind of got a yellow tinge to it, and it has almost raindrops, imperfection, and that makes it look like rain is falling on the glass. So as you can see, I've glued two cut pieces of the pattern onto this glass, so I have to separate them and get them cut as close as I can so that they will not require too much grinding when I get there. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm using my glass cutter. I have two other glass cutters, but they are straight pencil-like and they're not as comfortable to my hand. I have arthritis, so I use this one instead. And I keep it in a mason jar with a little bit of oil down here so that the wheel, the little tiny wheel on here, will keep being able to move. So then I take my glass cutter here, and first thing I do is I separate the two patterns from the glass. So I'm going on the edge of this one pattern, number 18, and go straight over. Then if I place the bottom, my fingers underneath the glass and my thumbs on top of the glass on either side of that score line, I can just click it and it separates. Isn't that cool? You can hear that little click sound. Then the next cut I have to make on this bigger piece is a bit of, we're going to do a straight line here. And so I'm putting the score line in the glass and I'm running alongside of it. Now this time I'm going to use my running pliers. And running pliers have a curved edge on the top and a straight edge on the bottom, and then they have a little mark of the center of the curve here. So I'm going to put that little mark right on either side or on the line that I scored, and I'm just going to push down and voila, it separates. There we go. So there's still several other cuts. Because this is a rounded edge, I'm going to probably do one line and then another line to try to get as close to that rounded edge as I can. So I'm pressing down. You don't have to press down hard, just enough to retract the wheel. Again, use the running pliers, and I separated that piece. Then I'm at the height of that curve, and I'm just going to go the other way. Really small piece there, and because that's such a small piece, I'm going to now use my Gozer pliers to just take that little piece off. And I'm dumping these pieces in what I call a shard bowl because they're too small probably to use again, but it keeps them contained. If they are large enough to use again, I put them in a plastic that came from salads so that I can reuse those pieces. Then I got one more. It's a curved edge, but it's not too deep of a curve, so I believe that I can probably get the running pliers to run it off, to cut it off. So I've scored the line using my running pliers on right on the score, and then just click, cut it off. So this is piece number 181. So I'm going to find number 181 on my pattern. Get back to my pattern here. And here it is here. And just set it on the cartoon. The pattern's called a cartoon. This cartoon has corresponding numbers on it. And it's taped down to my table that has a right angle. So that piece is done. Now, when I get all these pieces cut, I will take them to my grinder, which is outside, and I'll start grinding them down so that I can get all the edges exactly where the pattern is, as opposed to falling out further. And the closer I get these pieces of glass cut, the better this piece is going to look. And that's it.